Yeah, hello, welcome back. Today we're going to be trying something a little bit different. I've got the world's smallest 6x6 cave door behind me, built by my Ewan, and we're going to be exploring it and learning how it works today. So say hello.
Hello. Alright.
So I've never really done a video like this before, so I'm just gonna kind of wing it because this is a pretty cool door that my Ewan built. It is a world record size, and so I decided why not teach you guys about how it works and whatnot. But expect the video to be kind of bad because I don't really know what I'm doing. Anyways, let's see how the door opens.
Nah, it closes.
Or closes, you know what I mean. Whatever.
Yeah, so it closes in about 8 seconds. And it has a small cooldown because of how the top triple works. But anyways, let's see the opening now. And it opens in about 12 seconds. And you can see the triple slowly doing stuff.
So this isn't just like some normal 6x6 cave door, it's actually a flush one. Because you have like the pistons coming out, I see.
So you can see the blocks actually come out.
Yeah, so he has these pistons coming out, and it actually pushes the block forward one. So now it's actually flush with the wall, which is pretty cool.
And also, that enables the 4 wide layout. Because normally a cave door is supposed to be 5 wide, but with a flush you can do it 4 wide. Yeah.
So how come this is a world record?
It's based on the layout. So the layout, because it's flush, so it means by 4 wide, and with the most compact size and with 2 triples, then it makes it 672 blocks, the smallest in the world.
And how come you didn't go with like triple pistons on the side? Like this?
Well, because triple pistons on the side, you would basically need an observer right here and then a piston right here, which is kind of hard to do. So I decided to make it a top triple and a bottom triple.
Yeah, but if you have a bottom triple, isn't it just about as hard though?
Well, it's not, because the top actually can help with the bottom for a bit, whereas sides you need to separate it from itself. So the bottom get a lot of help from the top, and so that's how it works, and we'll explain later.
So here's a transparent version of the door, pretty much just glass where blocks aren't needed.
So you can see the door working clearly.
Yeah, it kind of gives you a better idea of what the heck is going on. Not really, but...
But we would explain it later in the video. So now let's see it opens.
Yeah, as you can see, the piston layout is pretty wild. I probably would never be able to make this door, so it's pretty cool that you were able to make this work in the size you did.
Yeah, because the layout uses a folded double. Actually, 4 of them are right here.
Can you hit the lever again?
It's kind of hard to wire it. So yeah, let's see it closing again.
You can see his folded double right there. Which is actually just insane if you really think about it. He has actually 4 of them in each corner for the block that comes out. You open it.
Alternatively, you can do a double at the top and the bottom, but that makes it actually a bit harder, so I decided to go with the side and do a folded double instead.
So we're going to start off by just kind of showing you guys each circuit, kind of? I don't know. We're going to kind of explain, or he's going to try to explain to you guys as much as he can how each like piston layout kind of works. But pretty much we're going to start with this triple piston at the top here, which you guys can see on the actual door itself. He's got 2 triple pistons right next to each other to get the blocks down to here, which is like the center blocks. But you guys actually might recognize this from our Quipla and my Ewan triple piston extender farm, right, my Ewan?
Yeah.
But this is a 4-pulse triple piston. What that means is you have to hit the note block 4 times for it to do its full.
And it will do the entire closing or opening.
Yeah, it'll do the entire. This is the closing, and then you do the same thing for the opening. But what did you do for the actual door itself to get the 4 pulses?
Well, what I did is a hopper ROM here, and this hopper ROM has items that will make this signal go to the signal strength of 4. And it also changes the state 4 times so that the observer detects it 4 times and gives 4 pulses, just like hitting the note block 4 times. And you can see it right here. So on.
Okay.
2, 3, and
Okay. So pretty much what he did is he uses signal strength of how many items are in this hopper right here with the comparator. And each time the signal strength changes, it'll power this observer. And then that's like hitting the note block once. Is what I kind of got from it. But what about this? What is this all about?
Alright, so basically, while I was spinning to the bottom, I realized I don't have much space left, so I was left out with making it top that would help the bottom a bit. So this here, you can see the closing, it does nothing. This piston with the observer pushed down, and this piston does not get fired, and also the piston actually blocks it a bit. So let the triple do its stuff first. Alright, so the opening, you see that only after the last item in the ROM goes out, and this will fire.
Okay, so you have to wait for all the items to clear out. This retracts.
Yeah. And what it does, it is power the double twice, because that's what we need for the last moves for the bottom. And so yeah, this deals with that. And this is a cool way for making a falling edge to power stuff you want, I suppose.
Okay, so it's kind of like a T flip-flop. Could you like show me why you need the double at the... Could you hit the lever? And
yeah.
Maybe then you can understand why he needs the... We're gonna watch this piston here. So it's only when this retracts, it'll fire this. And it's a double pulse, I assume?
Well, I programmed it to be a double pulse to this dropper hole. It's not really a double pulse, but it transforms it to double pulse.
Okay.
That's how it works.
So an over-complex double pulse. That works. So here we have your double piston extenders, or I believe it's these two blocks right here, right? Which go up to here?
Yeah, and then the other two.
And this looks super complex. Could you like explain a bit more for the people who don't understand?
Well, it's basically you find this vortex into a dust and then a observer here, and it actually does the whole double.
And so pretty much all you have to do is just power this observer and it does the entire double pulse. And if you guys...
Yeah, it's basically equivalent to a vortex repeater, if I could place that, and yeah, an observer. And it's just exactly this, but except I need a dust here just to power these two pistons. So when I place the block, you can see it extends.
Oh, okay. And you guys probably know this double piston. Pretty much all he did was make it so it powers two of them in a 1 block wide area. Pretty cool. But yeah, let's go on to the next thing. So now we're going to move on to the bottom triple extenders, which you guys can also see from the other door. He has two of them, very similar to the top, except the difference here is that you have to push in a observer, I see.
Yeah.
So could you like show us like the sequence of how this works?
Yeah, sure. So what happens is first we need to power this piston with a 2-tick, and then we extend this observer and power this 4-tick. It will actually be 3 ticks in the actual circuit, but it always is 4 ticks. And this retracts, and then we 1-tick this piston, and then we do a long pulse here. And that's
super complex. Okay, and then how do you do the opening?
And the opening is exactly the same. A bit of wasted pulse here, 2-tick here, and then this extends, and then a 4-tick here, and then after this retracts, and again 1-tick, and then a long pulse. And you see we are left with this position here, and this is why we need 2 doubles. The first one a 4-tick, and the second one a 4-tick as well.
Okay, so now you guys can probably understand why he had to do this more. Why, like, can you hit the lever again on the actual door? So again, if you guys remember, this does nothing. Then only on the opening.
And
I love how slow the door is.
Yeah, it's a bit slow. But
so it gets us all the way up to there, and then this will retract, I think.
And then after the top triple retracts, and then the bottom does 2 double pulses.
Okay.
And that's how the sequence works.
So that probably explains it a little bit better now. So now we're on to probably the most complex part of the door. This is his fold-in double piston extender, which will get this block right here all the way out to there. And if we actually watch the door again, you guys can see he has this in every single corner, which you guys probably remember. It's what makes the door only 4 blocks wide instead of 5, because now it's flush, and it has to spit this piston all the way back from there to here, so that's pretty cool. But could you explain how this kind of works?
Okay, so this has a sequence for that, and I will explain it by how the door actually works. So what happens is that first is the bottom, because the bottom is the input. This retracts, and then this extends, and also this extends. Okay. And then for the top, this retracts, obviously. This extends, and this extends.
The same thing.
And then, and then we will do a cool thing here, and it's to retract this piston, which originally does this block here, and then we also untick that, and then we place it back into the original position, and same thing for here. And then we power through these observers to do the flush thing.
Okay, so that's just how you... This is just the close. And is it the same thing for the open?
Yeah, the opening is quite similar, but the moves are slightly different. So first off, you'll have these retracting, and then
so you kind of have to do this in the opposite direction.
So yeah, it's called an arbor gate for any of those who know, but whatever. So this powers, which does nothing, and this powers, and then the top, it does not fire it actually. So now we are going to go straight on and do the folded double, and same thing with the bottom. And then only when this goes to this position, and this will retract, and also this will retract, and so does this. And at the last thing, these. It's
just close these pretty much, right? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, if I could place that, and so yeah, there we go. So that's the entire sequence.
that's a sequence. Now, how the heck did you manage to fit that in a too wide area? Okay, so now we have the sides, except this time it has all the observers in place, so that you guys can kind of see exactly what each observer does and how it all connects together, creating the entire side. So, like, could you step us through the process?
Yeah, so I'll go through the moves. So the bottom first, because the bottom is the input. So
he pulls down this block.
Here. And then we do this pulse here. This will fire these pistons and the back piston right there, so that this piston and these blocks get pushed out. And then we do the same thing on the top. This goes back, and you might recognize this sand here. This is to power this hopper, and it's actually used in here.
Oh yeah, this is the sand from our triple piston over here, if you guys remember. It powers the hopper, right? So now you guys actually understand what the point of it is.
So yeah, it does this.
And so that does the second step, same thing as the bottom.
Yeah.
And now what do you do?
And then we will fire this vortic. This vortic does almost the entire thing.
Oops, I totally missed that. But that looked like it did the double, and then it pushed out these pistons from here, right?
Yeah.
Is that pretty much what it did? It just spit all these blocks out to here?
Yeah.
And it pushed this to here. So how did you manage to push this piston this far out when there's no other pistons to push it? Because this one can only push up to this far.
Well, first off, this piston have dual purpose. It is first to push this block here, and then it's pulled back to push this piston out. So you can see it's in here. So
the piston's like this right now, right?
So yeah, the piston's like this right now, and this block is here. And now we just do this, and you see the first pulse does this, and the second pulse just goes back.
So that's why you have a vortic up here, because that's a double pulse.
Yeah.
So we're pretty much here. And the last few steps is just to power these two pistons, right, to get it to close. And
Yeah,
that's the full
and
close,
that
right?
makes it flush.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
these blocks are
that's how he like pushes out the corner blocks. So now
Yeah.
how do you open it?
Well, opening, first off, we fire this, so that it immediately grabs the block. And
Okay.
then we also fire this, because the block needs to pull back. And then...
Oh, what did you do second? So you pulled back the block and then what happened?
This block needs to get pulled back.
Okay.
Because of the sequence. So yeah. Alright, so now we're going to fire this. It pulls the block back, but not this piston, because this piston is out of the way.
So you guys remember? Originally it's like this, right? And then you push out this piston to here, except this time there's nothing there, so it doesn't matter.
It just doesn't matter. So now exactly same for the top. This gets pulled back. And then now we're going to do the double actually before firing this, because we need this pulse to fire this later, because we need to do the double first so that it can grab the piston.
Can you show me the double pulling it back?
Yeah.
That's so cool. It's pretty much all you did was just refire this exact same thing. That's it pulled back these two blocks and it pulled the piston back to here.
Yeah. And now we can actually fire this here. And it will do
pulls
this.
back both of the pistons, okay?
Yeah. And now to the final pulse, just these needs to go back. And you can see these blocks make it seamless.
Okay,
and
so that's the entire opening.
Yeah.
And is that about it?
Yeah, that's about it, I would say.
Okay guys, so that's pretty much the entire door. Everything my Ewan explained to us is how the door works. For the most part, it's pretty much symmetrical, right?
Yeah, but except for the top and the bottom. Bottom is not symmetrical because of the inputs, and the top is not symmetrical because I need to fit in more pulses.
So pretty much the whole thing is the exact same thing, right?
Yeah.
But before we go, I just wanted to explain to you guys why this is the new world record. So the previous one was how big?
The previous one is by Exordian and is at 728 blocks.
And what was the dimension? 12 by 14? 13 by 14?
The footprint is 14 by 13. Yeah. And you can see the difference between layouts. And this uses a side triple piston extender. The top is the same, while the bottom uses only a double piston extender. So we don't need this layer for the bottom, but we do need 2 layers for the side. So this new door makes it 1 layer shorter than the previous layer.
What are the dimensions of your size?
My size is 12 by 14 by 4, while the previous one is 14 by 13 by 4. So you can see it's 1 layer short, and that makes a new record.
How many blocks is this? What is it again? 600?
This is 672, 56 blocks smaller than the previous one.
Yeah, okay, so it's not a huge difference, but it is the new world record after all. But pretty much the only difference is if you chopped off this layer here, because Exordian's has 1 layer thicker on the side, pretty much, it would be pretty much the same size, but new world record, yay! Anyways, so that sums it up for the world's smallest 6x6 door, 6x6 cave door, but I did not help at all with making this door. It's all by my Ewan, but since he's a good buddy of mine, he asked me to make a video on it because it is a world record and it's pretty cool and he wanted to share it. So I was like, why not let him flex it to all his buddies that he beat the world record on a video? Yeah.
So sadly there will not be a tutorial on this, but you can still come to the Synergy server and you can check out my plot. My in-game name is MUN222, you know that. And you can also visit the World Records plot to see the door yourself. And there will be also a world download in the description if there's one. And hopefully you will enjoy the door. So yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks
for watching, you guys. Actually, one last thing. 672 blocks is the size my Ewan made, but it actually has been done before by Perry, another good buddy of ours. But the difference is, actually, could you open the door? Is he actually
Sure.
uses a slime blocks, which you can't really see. And, you know, slime blocks are gross and nobody likes them. So we all consider it like, we consider it like kind of a different category, I'd say. Would you say it's a different category or like?
Yeah, it's kind of a different category. Slime blocks make doors quite a bit easier, but slime ballers makes it more interesting.
Yeah, but same door, except this one has slime blocks, but it's the same size. But without slime, this is the new world record.